County commissioners, the cities, and Texas all have a different authority, so you can take it.
During the law, and the next spot, there. In the future, when this is way too far ahead, suddenly I probably have great time. But that's 20 years away, and nobody comes to this. How long is it for that? Our community board is the, they're the ones that we need to concentrate on something to prevent. It's not to prevent what's going on. So there's whatever we may do, and do. It's the last thing I ask. Thirdly,
We have to say, here, there's all these like, even where we talk about moving it around here, it is you, me, and them, and like, I get over here, and I talk to these people for hours. And
it's the same as like the career. The trust and trust. And this, like people from here to well, when you look at this really, this study, so, should be there, and you will live in the
You know, people act like we have contact with us, and we don't feel in contact with us, and maybe that, if you want to know happening now, and then we've got to continue that conversation, we've got to continue to talk. And we have this discussion, so that we're looking to have, I think, we learn, advocate, and mess up our communities, this things that have their separate. This should be one election for the voters, they demand if they do not want this on their. The point that the taxpayers who did not want it, let alone the reason about reappointing somebody that perhaps giving an audit plan for audit tax dollars to go to before it's spent. For the new year and for the citizens, so we know where the money is. Y'all can't sit this thing up. We got something good. We go to the left. So what we need to correct. What the citizens of the is not like that. And that fee would have gone to the other projects. What the citizens of the is not like that. And that fee would have gone to the other projects.
That money can be spent on one thing, that's price. And so what we've done in the last couple of years is work with our municipal partners to figure out what projects are the most important and what projects that we already may have an impact on. We went around, we had multiple meetings with the city of Bryan, city of College Station, TechStot, the county, XA&M.
That money would have been used, not used, for the operation. So, the vote was to not, put a fee in place, which was what, when the legislature gave us the ability to ask for that, it was a vote. The citizens vote, don't have a problem, they said that they didn't want it. Based on, a lot of, in my opinion, it's vote. That doesn't mean that you always have to play, it doesn't mean you don't have an operation there. The election was for the people, not for the bad elections.
There shouldn't be any problem about getting out that information or, you know, funding that. And whether it's going to be funding in summertime or going to session, y'all support this, nonprofit thing. Nonprofit, okay? Yep, it's that way, it's nonprofit. And, so there shouldn't be any problem with, having clear numbers on it, right? Now, I work for this. The fact is, with the information which going out there to grow, find out having to do with the public information that you can do. These can see what it is. You know what I'm saying? Well, nobody is out there. A lot of people don't know where to go to find. So, you know, as much advertising money is spent to promote these things, and you put it in public proportion. And that's all it is. Well, the RMA, is what I'm saying, is talking for, well, who's that? Okay.
That's not right.
All parties were notified, and then they go to the check, I think it's a good thing for all of them to be able to maximize their development.
You need to be getting on that one.
We continue to,
This is our plan here, the one that we proposed. And so we're acceptable with it. The study is that the prices are massively expensive.
That's what you know, I've never had a project that more than 69 months. After we put it, whatever.
That's all.
I still think we can hurry up, but violence, right? Not sure process. I'm going to.
do that, but not with us. Right? We're not going along with that. Let's just do that can make some the less they have, but it's gonna make more people more needs.
We started this on the stance. We're not divided. I do that. I say, I don't want my house, you test. And then we're gonna take the issue. And that's your reason.
For 40-something years. I spoke at the county commissioners meeting a couple weeks ago. I tried to lighten things up a little bit. And I'm gonna end what I finished the week in Congress, and no East Loop limit. I'll get to be blessed with that too. There once was a nice NPO, that's what they call the honey organization. They search for solutions for traffic confusions to help our communities. Then ITS came on the scene with circles and lines red and green. Choose one, they all said. Your farm, study did, and we're killing your ancestors' dreams. The people cried, whoa, where's the study? The waters, they all seem so muddy. Is this a real need, or just based on greed? What's really at play here now, buddy? Create a new highway plan. Just plow it. It might save the day. 20 years far away. These locals, they don't understand. But listen now, here's the deal. This problem it solves is not real. A road way out here will not east-west for you. Just money for someone to feel. Your voters are angry and mad. This East Loop is nothing but bad. Nothing to solve, no life is to solve, and only is an elephant of left. In closing, I beg and implore, pursue this bad East Loop no more. Just cancel the deal, do a study that's real, leave your voters in happy uproar.
All right, so you ready? All right. We're gonna make a movie. We've been working on that pretty much nonstop for the last, I don't know, 8 weeks, maybe 6. A long time. Okay, so what the movie? One of the things that you've heard many times throughout, it's a study. Oh, it's just a study. No, it's just a study. Okay? The judge has said that numerous times. We heard Commissioner Conlon say that last time he was here. Folks, I'm here to tell you, this is more than just a study. I've got the contract. I've read through it. Everything's in there. They're doing everything they have to be able to start acquiring right away and locking it down. Okay? So, let me grab the contract real quick. It's actually a 9-page contract with all the exhibits attached. And actually, I can read them up here. Engineer shall provide necessary engineering and technical services for the preparation of plans, specifications, and estimates for the construction of the new arterial interloop east. Okay? And if you look down there further, they may provide some or more of the following: right-of-way mapping and acquisitions, to include testimony at eminent domain proceedings. Okay, if they're going to condemn your land and go through as eminent domain, they're going to ask you guys to stand up there with them. Okay. In addition, utility relocation plans and construction phase services. Okay. I believe their response would be, "Oh, we haven't asked them for that yet." Okay, that may be true, but why would you put it in the contract unless you intend to ask them to do it, or there's a possibility that you intend to ask them to do it? Okay, let's think about that for a minute. Also in the contract, they have a lot of details spelled out in there. They have people doing title research, and I think they know exactly where they want to put this. They've got people doing title research on, the contract says, 182 acreage parcels, as well as 110 lot, block, or home parcels. Okay. Additionally, they're doing geotechnical studies, they're doing soil studies,
on locations for 14 different locations for bridges, where they're drilling 90-foot holes for soil samples. 90 feet deep, folks. They're getting ready to build bridges. Let's see what else. 10 different locations for retention ponds, 3 different locations for bridge class culverts. I don't go through it, I don't know what it is. And then 100 different locations along the study route for pavement. And this is all called out in the contract, okay? Something else I wanted to bring up. We heard the mayor say when he went on the radio back in January, they've been talking about this for 20 years. You know what? Our family has lived in the eastern part of Brazos County since the 70s. And I'm going to tell you, we've never heard a thing about this until November of this year. Okay? They may have been talking about it. Folks inside the government may have been talking about it, MPO and whoever else is involved. Okay? But they've not involved the public. All right? Not that I've found any evidence of it. And if they have, I don't know if any of y'all have ever been to a government meeting, but the first thing they ask you to do is they say, hey, sign in. Okay? And every time they have a meeting, you sign in. So every one of those people, from Dan Rudge of the MPO, Barry Moore of the RMA, I forget who all else, they all talk about, we all this great citizen input. We're all, yeah, folks are telling us they want this. Okay, great. Prove it up. Show me the public notices where y'all called the people and said, hey, we're going to do this. And show me the sign-in sheet. Show me the meeting minutes. I haven't seen any of that. I haven't been able to find them. If they've got it, I'd love to see it. Okay? All right. The other point I want to make is one of the things we've been doing is going to commissioner court meetings. They're Tuesday mornings at 10 a.m. Where's everybody at 10 a.m. on Tuesday? They're at work. They make it hard for us to participate. They say citizenship requires participation. I don't disagree with that. That is true, but they make it hard to participate. Who can get off work every week to go hear what our county officials are doing? Okay. Another thing, they say, oh, it's on the website. We put that up on the website. Just because you say you put it on the website, I guess you can say you've done what's minimally required to say we've made a public notice. But that's, I don't know how y'all feel about that.
Work that on Brazos County website, it's hard to navigate. You can't find nothing on it.
Yeah. All right. So that's, I think that's it. And so I'll turn it over now.
Evening, everyone. I know the last thing we want is more people talking, but what we have here is some pretty good information. When somebody mentioned as you were coming in that you saw me on TV with KPX, they interviewed me on Friday about this, we were talking about this meeting. There wasn't a whole lot of information in that story, but what we wanted to emphasize were some of the goals that this group has. The big thing that we were all told from the very beginning with this loop is that it's going to alleviate traffic on Highway 6. That's the big story that they gave us. And in our first meeting, Adam talked about how that's not going to happen with this design. It's just not going to happen. What's the other reason for it? Well, it gives us another north-south route that people would take. But it goes nowhere. It goes to the very north part of Bryan, goes to William Fitch and Powell Station. You look at their own MPO maps, which shows where people live and where they work. And we're going east-west. So that there's nothing to that either. So what is the need? Why are they doing these things? They're building it for the people that are coming and not the people that are here. But even the people that are coming, if they come, they're not going to be able to use this route. It's not going to be something that is going to be used on a day-to-day basis, or if at all, for people that are going to live out there. Because it just bypasses everything. And we're going to use the same routes that we've been using since they were put in, and we are today. So, the population, everybody keeps talking and, they keep talking about how we're growing. And we're growing, and we're growing. You hear that all the time. You listen to any of the elected officials around here, you listen to any of the people, RMA, and Gill, any of that. Oh, we're just growing. The growth rate here is exploding. Well, if you take a close look at their numbers, they're not correct. They're not correct at all. It's a gross misrepresentation of the growth rate of this area. And we'll get to that in a little bit, but no comment. So what are the drawing that they're talking about here? We'll see. So the growth rate that they're talking about, there are ads that the organizations have put together to try to lure businesses in. And the big number they like to use is we're growing at a 91% rate. This is the fastest growing, not the fastest growing area in Texas. So bringing businesses here, people are coming, people are coming. We played with the math, okay? So the 91% comes from, and this is starting here, especially when they're trying to sell the loop to everybody, talking about we have a 91% growth rate. But they're talking about that from back in 2010, not from anywhere near here. So from 2010 to what they're looking at in 2045, it's a 91% growth rate. But when you're talking about what do we need to do now for growth, when you're talking about what's going on now, if you look at the population we had last census 2023 numbers that they put up there, really, we're growing at about 50, maybe 50.6% rate. Okay, you can do the math. So that goes from, yes, 2010, 91% for that time. Now we're only at 50.6% for the entire county. That's a significantly slowed down growth rate for this area, right? College Station growth rate, Bryan growth rate, they're all showing that from there, but they're significantly less. Bryan's only, they're saying Bryan is 33%, but really only about 12.5. College Station 60%, about 27.8. So this is something that happened at the last meeting, and it's a really good look at the growth rate in Bryan. So that's from way back in 1990, 2000, that 10-year area, and in 2010, yes, we're at peak. Now we're slowing down quite a bit. So the growth that they're talking about is not happening. And if you want to talk to anybody about that and already be able to sustain all this stuff, talk to the restaurant business. Okay? There's stories, you go to the media and you watch the news, oh, we got 4 more restaurants closing in, but guess what? We just had 4 closed. Ask the people who work for Varsity when it closed down. That place wasn't even open here. So where are the people? Where is the sustained business? Where are the need for these things? And if that's not the case,
I want to say, I covered this last night. Postal man was here, Dan Rudd was here, all the politicians were here. They saw it, they heard it. And it's just simple math. And it's not controversial. I didn't realize that they had done it since 2010. And that's why they were going wrong. They hadn't updated it in 15 years, right, at that point in time.
yes, but the growth rate that they present, they show from 2023 numbers that they're using back to 2010.
A week after, they put something out, right, reiterating their numbers. All of them are here, none of them are paying attention.
So anyways, they're not being honest with businesses, which is why they fail when they come in. They're not being honest with the citizens. That was one of their main points of building a roadway like this, and that is not the truth. Okay, and that's that's what they're using because it fits their narrative. Things we want is, as I said, okay, we want them to stop this study. Okay, and you look at the cost for this. And I talked a little bit about this last time. Where are our taxpayer dollars going to? $11.2 million for a feasibility study. They got $100 million off that bond that nobody should have voted for, and they're using that to fund the study. Okay, that's over 10% of the entire bond that we had. Why are they going through and doing that? The first thing that should have happened, and this was mentioned before, we talked about it in the meeting in December with them. The first thing that should have happened is, if they want to know if this project was even necessary, there should have been a traffic study done. All right? And did the research, what does a traffic study cost? On average, from $2,500 to $5,000 at intersections. Think about the area that this covers, how many intersections are there? You think that adds up to $11.2 million? No. On average, these traffic studies cost about $250,000. That's a lot less than the $11.2 million of your tax money that is going towards doing a feasibility study. You see, should we even do this? How about we find out, should we even do this by spending as little bit of your tax money as possible? That is not. When our elected officials go rogue and go after projects they want, not what the people want, that's what happens. Your tax money gets abused. It gets misused, and that's the case with this feasibility study for the loop. Okay? So that's why we need it to be stopped. The other thing is why we're hiring this, we have liquidity at $11.2 million, gave that contract to do this. So what do we need another consultant for that's getting paid now $15,000 a month? It's a lot more than I make, a lot more than pretty much everybody in here makes, right? But that guy's getting paid with the promise of, hey, guess what? I'm gonna go get you check stop money when the time comes. So, you know, he's like the guy with Music Man. You got money? Come on, give me your money. Or more recently, Lyle Lanley from The Simpsons. Hey, I can save you monorail, that's gonna put you on the map. What do we need that? The guy's a snake oil salesman, okay? He's getting paid an exorbitant amount of money to sit around and do nothing right now, or whatever he's doing. The liquidity is going to him. Don't we have people working in our government already who should be going after this money if we need to go get it to help build the roadways? Don't we already have positions like that? Don't we already have elected officials and paid officials in the county to do that? And now they're gonna go hire this guy because, oh, I know everybody and I'll go talk to them and I'll get you your money for you. But he's not a lobbyist. I mentioned that a couple times to him, and he was adamant that he wasn't a lobbyist. But what is he doing? He's lobbying for money. Look it up. Look up on the state ethics committee and laws, the state laws about lobbying. Everything he and his firm do is lobbying. But he doesn't want to be called that. But that's what he's doing. He's going to go get that money for you. So that's where your tax money is being used for. Think of that guy. So what needs to happen? We need to have a real traffic study done. We need to stop this contract liquidity, and we need to do an actual traffic study. Because I'll tell you what, when we ask liquidity, what kind of traffic study are you gonna do? Because don't worry, we're gonna do one. We're gonna start at the beginning of the year, this year, it's going on right now. We asked them, are you gonna take into account, since we're looking at up to 2045, the population and what's gonna happen over the next 20 years, are you looking at and taking into account the expansion of 179 and the expansion of Highway 6? You know what their answer was? No. I mean, why would they do that? Those are just two of the biggest roadways that are gonna affect the east side of the county, right? They're worried about traffic on Highway 6. We need to alleviate traffic on Highway 6, but when we do your traffic study, we're not gonna take that into account that they're gonna widen it and fix most of the problems that are out there, hopefully. But that's irrelevant, so we're not gonna put that in there. We're gonna go with what's existing now. We're gonna talk about the future, we're gonna project for the future, we're gonna see what we need for the future, but we're not gonna take into account the way the world's gonna be in the future. What kind of sense does that make? And they're getting paid $11.2 million to do this. So we need a real traffic study done. And if that real traffic study is done and it shows that maybe there is a need for something like this, guess what needs to go into that when they finally put together a contract on that? We need a no-lose solution. We need that to be an option, because when we asked about that, you've heard some of that, it was, well, yeah, I mean, I guess it's a possibility, but they wouldn't commit to it. So we need that to be committed to any kind of contract, any kind of looking into this kind of thing, to say, well, no, guess what, we don't need it, so we can stop it. Because in that contract liquidity, at this point, if they want to, they can stop it, and all they get paid for is the stuff they've done. They're not committed to all $11.2 million, they don't have to pay them all that, so they can save our tax money. So if we, as citizens, stand up and tell our elected officials to actually do their job, we can get them to stop this, if they want to listen to us. And that's going to be on them. But if there's enough people that stand up, look at College Station. They wanted to do the Northgate thing and get rid of everything that made Northgate, right? Citizens stood up and said no. And the city council said, guess what? The people don't want this to happen. We should stop that. We can do the same thing, but you have to be willing to stand up. You have to be willing to have your voice heard. Each and every one of you in here is a member of this community. Y'all pay taxes, y'all work. Y'all do a lot more than the people sitting on that council and that commission. Stand up and tell them what you want and insist on it. And that's what we need people to go to these meetings, if you can, make them on Tuesday. You know, see if you can take an early lunch, do something. Or call. Hit them up, call them. Call their offices. Tell them you want to talk to them. Tell them this is what you don't want to happen to your community. Transparency has been horrible with this. It's all been on the website, Dave. You heard all that stuff, right? Well, you know what? How are we as citizens supposed to know what we're supposed to be looking for? Work hard all day long. My wife works hard all day long. Kids are in school all day. We got activities, all this kind of stuff, just like everybody else in this room now or at some point in their life, right? The last thing we want to do is, I wonder if there's going to be a roadway through my home. I better go on the website and go look to see if there's something cooking. Or maybe I can go to that 10 o'clock meeting on Tuesday that's not around any kind of lunch hour, not convenient for people that work and pay taxes. Maybe I can go there and find out what's going on. City council meetings are held after hours. Why can't the commission hold their meetings after hours? But you have to know not only that you have to go looking for it, but you have to know where to go find it. But it's all open information. Yeah, it's open information because it's there. You know where to look for it. You know what you're looking for and where to go for it. That's how open and transparent this whole thing was for 20 years, according to Mayor O'Brien. Right? In our meeting, it was hard to see that was on there. We only got like one picture of it. But there was another route that was shown to us that goes through, instead of where it is up around Stone Creek and Pointers Loop and all that, crossing 1179. And that not only changed where it's going across 1179, it's much further west towards Highway 30. It goes right behind Copperfield, goes right behind John Adams' place, cuts right across 1179 near Coyote Run, goes all the way through there past the cinema, and it's Merca. It's another one that's going to take out people's homes, livelihoods, and businesses. Is that on the webpage? Is that on the webpage? No. I signed up to get notices when stuff changes. A lot of people in here probably, if you went to the website, you got, where you can get emails and stuff. Hey, this is what's going on, blah, blah, blah. Not once did they send me anything about that. It's not on the website. And the other day, Beverly found where they took all the routes out. Now it's just that open corridor. Is that transparency? Are they telling us anything? Absolutely not. That's your $11.2 million at work, commissioned by your county commission. So, what is our big one? What are we looking for here? Not just to stop this loop. That is our ultimate goal. Everyone in here has a representative in the county commission. Everyone in here votes, has the ability to vote, expects that when we go to the ballot box and exercise our constitutional right to vote, that our representatives are going to actually represent us. What a novel concept. What a novel concept. When I went to history class, and we talked about government and that, this is supposed to be the government of the people, by the people, for the people. Not of the special interests, or the special projects of the elected officials, and by the people who pay them to get elected. That is not what this is all about. We want our representatives to actually represent us because they work for us. Everybody in this room works hard. Everybody in this room is here for a reason. You're protecting your lives, you're protecting your family, you're protecting your properties, you're protecting your legacy, you're protecting what you want to hand over to your kids. You put people in office to represent you, to represent your best interests, not theirs. What's the real reason for this project? It's to commercialize the east part of the county. It's to turn it into an urban wasteland, okay? Because once you put a roadway like this through, it does several things. It opens up for commercial development. That's what they want, because it's tax revenue. You talk about anything, oh, that's tax revenue. We're gonna get more tax revenue. We're gonna get more tax revenue. So they get more money, and more money, and more money, and more money is power, right? So all throughout that 20-mile stretch from south of Palace Station all the way to north part of Bryan, they're gonna lay this huge roadway down. It's a highway system. What are they gonna do? It's gonna develop just like Highway 6. So all your ranches, all your homes, all that are gonna disappear and it'll look like Highway 6. The last time they did that, and the judge loves telling funny little stories, you know? Like his whole story about how he gave up so much to do this and do that. He gave up the price of bread. Didn't impact his home. And he got well paid for it too, okay? That did not impact him. But he had to give up, just like he expects all of you to sacrifice everything that you have. Not just the crust of bread like he did, but everything that you have. He tells the other story about how when Highway 6 was just built, that he got on it back in 72, and I got in my car and I drove down from one end to another, barely came across anybody. Why is this here? That's just like now. No, it's not. He's comparing apples to oranges. 1972, this area was mostly rural, correct? Farms, ranches, not a lot of people here. Now look at it, it's huge, right? You cannot compare 52 years ago to now. You cannot. That is not a fair comparison. And there is not that much more to develop unless they start cramming in huge subdivisions and commercial development and all that stuff out of there and pushing out all the people that already live there, because that's what the plan is. Because that's more tax revenue for them. That is exactly what a loop like this will do. Okay? That is the purpose. That's the whole purpose behind this. It's urbanization. And when you do that, you put a roadway like in there, police call it something, they call it a crime corridor. Because you can tell, you pay attention to the news, and they catch some of these burglars and people breaking into things, and the folks that try robbing the jewelry store and the mall and all that kind of stuff. These are coming up from Houston. They're coming from Waco. They're coming from Dallas. They're organized criminals that come around over here looking for people within that triangle, Austin, Dallas, San Antonio, all those areas. We're right in the middle of all that stuff. So we're right from the picking, and that's where the criminals are coming from. This is just another roadway for them to come through and steal things and commit crimes. That's exactly what this would be. So it's going to urbanize, and that's going to affect not just y'all living out on the east side of the county, it's going to affect the rest of College Station and City of Bryan. Businesses on Texas Avenue are going to go away, just like what happened to downtown Bryan when everything started being developed on Highway 6. And we're just now starting to rebuild downtown Bryan. We're about 2/3 of the way done. How long is it going to take to fix anything around Texas Avenue or Highway 6 that we can't keep businesses in anyways? Look at the old academy. Is there anything in there? No. Downtown Bryan will suffer too. College Station's gonna suffer. Everything's gonna suffer because this impacts not just the people whose homes will be gone, but this entire area. And the purpose of that is we're growing. They want us to be Houston. You look at those roadway maps that are on there, you look at the loops that they want to put, cookie cutter stuff, it's just like Houston. And we don't have the population for that. Okay? That's what this is all about. So what do we want? We want our elected officials to actually listen to us. We don't want them pushing their agenda to turn this into a small Houston. Anybody here want that? No. Anybody here want more buildings and gas stations and stuff out there in the county where you live? I don't mind driving a couple miles in the town and go fill up my tank or, go to the grocery store. I moved out there so that I wasn't living in a subdivision and I wasn't in and around all that. I wanted to get away from it, all right? But they don't care. They have their agenda and that's what they want. So we want our representatives representing themselves and their special needs, or do they want to represent us? We want them to represent each one of you sitting in here tonight. We want them to represent everybody out there in the county, everybody in Bryan, College Station, and the county. We want them to do their jobs. We don't work for them. That's what they forget. They look at having power and bring privilege to themselves. Their power is supposed to protect us. They're supposed to represent us. That's what we want. We want them to do their jobs. So, get out there, call them, get on the liquidity site, put your comments in. Go to the meetings if you can. Bug the heck out of these people, okay? We asked our representatives to be here. They couldn't find the time. They're out of state. I'm sure they'll be at the meeting tomorrow, despite being out of town. They'll be at tomorrow's meeting at 10 o'clock. I'm sure they will. But they couldn't make it tonight. So, since they can't be here, I'm going to limit this. Since it goes mostly through precinct 2, and I've had a conversation with them, Chuck Conderlook, our precinct guy, in number 2, do your job, represent us. Start being transparent with everything, and you can put a stop to this, because they told us that the county can stand up and say no. Judge Peters, do your job. You've been in it long enough, God knows. Represent the people, not your special interests, not what you want. The rest of the county commission, do your job. Represent the people that you are supposed to represent. Your job description is in your title. How is that confusing? Get out there and tell them that that's what you want. Thank you.
So this last time, I want to repeat it, with no regular destinations on either end, this highway will take homes, ranches, farms, and destroy the environment at great financial costs for no benefit. If no one's there to use it, and it doesn't go anywhere that people want to go. And that's where we're sitting. All right, so I'm going to talk about the concrete jungle for a second. I'm going to go really quick because I know we must start us today. We will be a Houston. We're going to be a Dallas. We're going to be a San Antonio. It's coming. They want it. It's going to happen if we don't stop it. I think in the movie you saw how important economic development was. It was in the city of Bryan meeting minutes. It talked about development. It talked about words like right and desirable when it came to 1179. They want that area that they annex all the way to Stella Ranch and create for that sewer. They want to annex the entire section from the inner loop in. It's going to be city, and that's what they want. Outer loop. So, map here. So the outer loop there. Some of you have asked me about what's going on there. The I-14 does already have funding. The IIJA, it received funding already. They want the outer loop to be 214. I'm not sure if they want the inner loop to be the truck route or not. It's possible they do. I haven't seen that in meeting minutes. I have seen in meeting minutes where they talk about I-14 running straight through town instead of going to Madisonville. I-14 is supposed to go to Madisonville, but they don't want that. Madisonville already has I-45. They want I-14 to run straight through Highway 6 and either somehow cross William Fish or go across from Highway 6 towards Highway 30 before the Navasota River, River. So they want that interstate through this town. There is a relief route, cargo route coming out new. It's not built yet. It's coming from Freeport across north. It's going to go to Hempstead. And they want all this truck traffic, cargo traffic off Freeport from going to be the largest, they're digging it out to be the largest deep water port and in the Gulf. And so that cargo is going to come up 36A, go to Hempstead, across Highway 6, which I think will end up being I-14, all the way to Waco, then it hits I-35, it goes north of Fort Worth, and it's headed to the Alliance Airport, north of Fort Worth. Dan Rudd is involved with that. I've seen him speak at the 36A Coalition meetings on YouTube. There's videos there. Also, Judge Peters is on the I-14 Coalition board. They want these highways. They want I-14 straight through town. They want the inner loop to create economic development, and then they want the outer loop to be 214. Curtin, you may actually miss I-14. It may actually not go through Curtin at all, because I don't think they want it to go through Madisonville. Okay. All right, so let me show you the maps. All right, so remember this thoroughfare map that I showed in the movie? 3 voting members actually approved this. Dan Rudge said, okay, we're going to approve this map, despite we've got some citizens that are saying, we don't want the interlude. You need to send out mailers to everybody with the tax rolls. You need to tell people what's going on. They went ahead and passed it, then the cities passed it after that. So you've got the outer loop in the blue, the inner loop is the purple dotted line, which is the major one we're working on right now because it's coming up first. But I say that I-214 has funding. It's already got funding. This is the map from the I-14 corridor study. It's a TxDOT website. Talks about November 2021, the Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act designated the I-14 system in Texas for further development along with I-214 around the city of Bryan College Station, because this loop is located entirely within the study area and expected to overlap with I-14 as it passes through the Bryan. Notice that I-14 as it passes through the Bryan College Station area, not north of. Evaluation of loop I-214 will be included as part of the I-14 study. And if you see the red circle, where I circled right there, that looks like William Fish to me. Of course, there's nothing on there, but they finally, for the longest, they had College Station and Bryan flipped backwards, but now they fixed that, and now there's a jag across to I-30, which looks like William Fish. So obviously, I-14 and major interstate can't make that hard of a curve. I think it's gonna go back behind like the whole creek, they'll have to curve and go get Highway 30 before the Navasota somehow. So I find this map really, really interesting. I don't know if interesting is the right word. So then this is 36A. This is the one that goes from Freeport to Hempstead. It's 2 pieces. There's 36A and B. B goes from Freeport to, I can't remember. You can find information about this in the Katy newspaper, because Katy talks about how they do not want this hazardous cargo going through Katy. So they're going to send it to Bryan College Station instead. And Dan Rudge has gone and spoken on it. Dan Rudge even wears it on his lapel, on his jacket. He wears an I-14 pin everywhere he goes.
It's in the film.
Yeah, it's in the film. Dan Rudge of the BCSNPO said it would bring more freight traffic to Highway 6. The new highway would also help with mobility during emergencies, and KBTX reported that in 2019. But, I mean, you've got to pay attention all the time to see all these things happening. Okay, so we talked about no build strategy. You're gonna, traffic data is gonna show that they need it. I'm just telling you it is. Don't be surprised. It will show. Every traffic engineer, if you build it, they're going to come. If the population projects it, they can do whatever they want with the population. The only way we're gonna stop this is we're gonna convince one of the entities, Ryan Health Station, Brazos County, and then or the NPO. Brazos County, we have the biggest poll in Brazos County because we're Brazos County residents, those of us that actually live outside the city limits. We've got to convince taxpayers that it's too expensive. We don't know the estimate. They're going to bring in an estimate from the study. The only number that I've seen was over $500 million. But you heard John Holster in 2022 say that the cost of this has gone up 70%. It's going to be an expensive road, and they do want to do it quickly because it's just getting more and more expensive. And so then we're going to have to vote. We're going to have to get some of these guys out of here. This isn't. That's kind of our last ditch effort. We have to find candidates that are going to replace them and listen to us because they're not listening to us. Remember, our comment period is closing on February 19th. If you don't know how to make a comment on the liquidity map, literally on the map, you find your house and you drop a pin. I want you to come this Sunday to CJ by the Bryan Post Office. We're going to have some computers and we can help you there. We can help you get your comments in. Go ahead and think about what you're going to write. You can put detail on your computer or handwrite something out, but be detail. We are starting the petition back up. It still has all the signatures on it. I've got it at the top of the website. It works for North Main. I don't know if it's going to work for us, but there's no reason why we shouldn't try it. Then I already talked about the barbecue socials. We talked about speaking at the county commissioners meetings. I have a lot of class. When are they? When are they? They're every Tuesday. Every Tuesday at 10. If there's something strange happening, look on social media, look on our website. If like there's an ice storm, that kind of thing, check and make sure it's still going. You need to be aware of what's going on. They've been hiding this for us for years. We're not going to all these planning and zoning. Like the guy told me today on Facebook, he's been meeting with the developers for years and they know about it. So you've got to be paying attention. I need you to go to YouTube and watch what we put up there. Get on Instagram, email. If you don't know how to sign in for our email alerts, send me an email. It's on the website. It's real easy. It's noeastloop@gmail.com. Send an email. I'll get your email address in there so you know what's going on because I'm sending email updates. You have to start telling people, this is not enough people here. This is not enough people. I was hoping we would have more than we had last time, and we have quite a few less. It's pretty disappointing. I know this is old. Trust me. It's all I've done every day for the past 2 weeks is build that movie. It does get old, but this is a long fight, and we can't get tired unless you just don't want to fight. Now, here's what that quitting engineer said at the end. You heard him talk about how we're just going to move it, and we're going to make some of you maybe I won't be happy, but less mad. But when I move it, it's going to make more of you more mad. And that's exactly what's going to happen for all the people that are just ignoring this, thinking, well, this is not in my backyard. It's going to be, I mean, you heard Chuck Connerly say, we're looking for more alternatives, and he was there when they laid out the whole map with 7C on the table. He was sitting right there with us that whole 3 hours. You know how many words he said out loud to us? He didn't say one word in 3 hours. And then you heard what Judge Peters said, because I played part of it. I actually cut out part. I know you referred to the 1972 driving down Highway 6, but I also had to hear that at the Economic Development Conference, and I've had enough of that, so I don't want to play it. It's real hard to hear this stuff over and over and over every day. Okay, we've got to be telling people we're going to have to support candidates. We're going to have a PAC. We've got the PAC going. I'll show that in a minute. Comment period is closing. Another one will open probably, I guess, they're going to release more alignments and they'll open a comment period back up, maybe the end of the summer. So they'll move it around and that's what they do. I mean, they're going to move it around until they find a place where people are not paying attention and people aren't coming to the meetings and people aren't listening. you're gonna find a place. So if you don't tell other people, they're gonna move it on top of them. And then all of a sudden, there'll be more people now. All right, so barbecue socials, we're gonna do those once a month. If they're successful, really like, I'm not saying come every single time, we don't need everybody there all the time. Come when you can. We'd love to have you. It's a really good place that we're gonna be able to talk and answer questions one-on-one or in small groups. We can get a lot more accomplished that way. The red person thing, red shirts. If y'all have questions, find people in red shirts afterwards and we can try to get you connected with what you need, whether it's email address or whatever. So email updates, check the website every now and then. My Facebookers, you just wait for this stuff to pop into your feed. Like you're scrolling through and you're like, oh, look, something from Noah. No. Go actually to that page and scroll through and see what you missed. If you don't know how to do that, get your kids and your grandkids to show you. Because that, I mean, we're putting stuff in there and I notice, and I tell all the time, I'll even see you all share things. It's funny, I'll see you share things, but nobody likes a big single thing to share because people don't like this topic. They're not gonna like that movie. And I'm gonna send it to all of my media contacts tonight. I have a list of like 30 media contacts and I'm sending that movie link out. It'll be on YouTube tonight at 10. It won't go in and out of the brightness so that keep going in and out. It doesn't do that on a computer. But watch it and listen, because I know it got quiet in here for a while. Go listen to it again, watch it again. HOA meetings, I've gone to a few, I'm going to one tomorrow night. Both Kyle and I can go to those. We'd be happy to listen to your HOAs and answer questions. I'm scheduled for a Rotary meeting, those kinds of things. Let me know. We'd be happy to come talk. The next barbecue social is the end of spring break. So I get it, you can't come, but you'll try to come. All right, so the political action committee, we're going to find a candidate to run against Judge Peters and against Chuck Condor. And you're going to need help. It's really hard to be an incumbent. It's going to be hard to beat Judge Peters. It's going to be tough.
He's got one more.
I think he's running again.
That's what he's planning on doing.
Yeah.
But, look,
I mentioned this last time, and, we mentioned it again tonight, like with bonds and things. If you don't know what you're going for, don't vote for it, okay? When you see something vague, like the judge said, oh, it could be like a whole page long, that's why it wasn't on there, when you start looking at this, asking where it came from. Don't vote for it. You give the government power when you do that. There's a push, and there's been a push for years for, people to have permanence, right? Because when you sit and you make a career out of being a politician, is that real work? No. And if they don't know what real work is, don't always vote for an incumbent. Don't go in there and just push straight out voting. It's not how it works. Do research. That's where we could be a little bit more active with things. So we're looking for people to run. We want somebody to be able to represent, and we want somebody who's going to stand up for us and actually represent everybody. Okay.
Something I want to say along those lines. In the film, we showed everybody that supported the PAC that promoted the trip fund. There was nobody in there donating $510. We get companies and folks with big pockets that are donating large amounts of money. And we're not asking anybody to donate large amounts of money. What we're saying is, we need everybody to chip in 5, 10, 15 bucks. And if everybody does that, there's a whole bunch of us out here that are unhappy with the representation we've had. Okay? Tell all your friends, say, hey, support this group because they're going to want somebody that's going to represent us. Okay?
Okay, so thank you for spending your evening of us, I really can't encourage you enough to share that video. Share the video. I will email the link, text it, get it on your phone, text it to people, email it, share that video. We need everyone to see that video. Here. Yeah, so do we have some questions? Yes, ma'am. You want to come up here?
I got a mic over here.
Yeah, you need to go ahead. If you want to stay and ask questions or share.
I just wanted to, volunteer and offer a suggestion and see how this might be accepted. Given the fact of the schedule that the city and county and subdivision, which would be days, 10 a.m. session, just spoke about. Is there a way to get anybody in the group that they want to, who cannot attend those meetings, to potentially sign something that says, hey, you know, this person can go to the meeting and represent me and my intention, because I can and will do that.
Yes, yeah, they open up at the very beginning of these meetings where you go in and you sign up, you have to sign in, you gotta sign up, and you get 4 minutes to speak. They're not gonna speak back to you, but you can go up there and you can make comments and you can do whatever. So if you can't make it, you have someone who can go for you and represent you, then yes, that's part of it. Thank you. And just remember the parable in the Bible where Jesus said that, you know, there's a lady who did get what she wants, she'd like to be judged. How about that? And one injustice, and finally got it, and get sick of it. And that's what we want to hear. People get sick.
Hi, my name is Rudy Schultz, and some of you may know me, maybe you're in the video, I watched him, and I think the rest of the world will. Mark and I served on the Tri City Council back in 91, 92, 93. But we spent an awful lot of time talking about exactly what they want you to talk about. The issues that they put out there, the statements they made. Well, not only that, the NPO website today, looked at it, they still got Nancy Berry, who is the chairman.
Yes, they do.
But they got Brazos County, College Station, and City of Atlanta. Okay, those are elected representatives. What I don't see on here is representation from Wixon Valley, or Curtin, or Taylor, or Sheep Hollow. And I think what we need to talk about is reconstituting the MPO from the very beginning. A&M is a great place. I'm an A&M. I love A&M. But A&M is a state institution. It's not an elected body. It doesn't need to be making votes that's going to tax our land. And that's what they're doing. They're basically voting to tax your land. It's a taxation. The Boston Tea Party, they were going to curb that. Taxation without representation. And that's what's happening to the east side of Brazos County, is we're being taxed by people who weren't voted in there. The Texas Department of Transportation, they're great. They should be on there as advisors, but they shouldn't have a vote. The Brazos Transit, they should have an advisory position, but not a vote. So when you talk to Church Conway, and you can go down there to the county courthouse during the week, you might be able to catch him in his office. You don't have to wait till Tuesday morning. If that's what you need to do, you need to say, hey, let's reconstitute the NPO so that the NPO is representing the people of Brazos County and not the special interest group. And you talk about that, you haven't ever heard of the East Loop. Well, on the Brown City Council, we were talking back in 91, 92, 93. We were talking about transportation. And the RM, the Regional Rural Authority, there's a subgroup of the MPO, and you need to look up where they're all stationed at, they're all in the area. Thank you.
I got one for you. You're talking about traffic studies, you said that they weren't taking into account the 1179 and the Highway 6.
Yes.
They also are not taking into consideration the extension of Harvard Road from Elmwood back to Highway 60.
Probably, we didn't ask about that.
That is actually on the week after the original maps came out, where everybody went back to the Bridal Center. That was actually number 3, or number 4 on the project list. Of
Right,
what's fixing back.
that is one of John Holster's projects that people want to get on this.
Yes, it is actually, in fact, I've seen them doing surveys and so on. We're up and down to multiple rounds a day. Is there any way how we can try and get a referendum to put it back out and the candidates vote on whether we want this or not on the east side?
Yeah, well, we certainly talked about that. I'm sorry, I don't know if some of these. I don't know if I don't know if legally we can do that. Roy, do you have a comment on that? Or do you have a separate question? Okay, so I'm not sure, but it is something we're talking about. Let's talk about that this coming Sunday. Let's start talking about it and let's see if we can get some research on that, on whether or not we can get this upward somehow. Whatever, I don't even know what portion we can try to get upward.
It needs to be back, if we can get it back on the ballot, it needs to be voted on the people in the east side of the county and not the whole county. Because the east side is supposed to be affected.
Right.
Sorry, if you don't pay taxes, it's sorry.
Well, and what Jackie was saying earlier was really frustrating is the fact that the planning and zoning commission has done so much of this moving around. And I don't get to vote on anybody in Bryan. I don't get to vote on the mayor. I don't get to vote on the people that appoint the planning and zoning commission. And they're the ones that are busy moving around. So when they talk about, oh, you should have known about this for you, well, I didn't know that I was supposed to watch the planning and zoning commission, what they're doing with all the developers. I didn't know that. I mean, who of us knew that? Maybe
Who would have thought the city could affect what we're doing out in the county? If we don't get to vote for them, why would they be allowed free riders?
well, yeah, sure, the ETJ, I get it. Yeah, but you're right. Roy has had to say that for like 10 minutes. Oh,
Sorry, I was actually going to reference her comment about representation at the meetings and on Tuesdays and seeing and stuff like that. Are video recordings allowed for the meetings? You take maybe a 15 to 20-second clip and just play, hey, I don't want this.
It's recorded.
Is that possible?
I mean, we can ask, I've not seen it done, I would assume that probably not, but I mean, there's.
You got your 4 minutes. Meeting don't record it already.
Oh, sure, we could petition, or we could petition to get on the agenda and we could show, just like, because they do show PowerPoints and videos in the courts, you're right. Sure. Yeah, we could do that, absolutely, that's a good idea. Yes, well, I know.
If I can make a suggestion, anybody who wants to go see the representative, don't go by yourself. Always take somebody with you for safety and numbers. These folks like to take us to step and do it well.
Yeah. So you saw Roy at the end of that, at the end of the movie, and I mean, how long, and thank you for asking questions. Unfortunately, he didn't know that the money was hiding under a pack, and that was really frustrating because he kept going back around and around and around, and that video actually cut a ton out of that video. He got a 5-minute lecture on misinformation by Holly. I mean, she just went, like it was all his fault, and so, anyway, you should go see that video.
When will they release 7Z or the alternative?
We've asked, and they're not saying. I don't know when they're going to release 7C. I don't know if they're going to release 7C. I don't know that 7C wasn't a red herring. I just don't know.
Yeah, so it's 7C alignment, we got one picture of it. We did cherry pick, we got one.
Oh, yeah, so when I was told today that I was cherry picking that picture, that just happened to be the one picture one of us took of the map that they spread out in front of us on the 3-hour meeting. We weren't I wasn't trying to cherry pick anything, it's just that was the only proof that I had that there was a 7C running right behind the public hearing.
So I have gone to the commission board meetings and I have asked them to ask Quigley to release that alignment. So folks could see it prior to the closure of the comment period. I got no reports.
They took down all the other routes. That's
Put it
how I
back
brought it
up.
up.
So they disappeared for a while and they came back up.
I would suggest it was good that you asked, we need other people to ask the commissioners for that same question. Would you do that?
I have a question about Commissioner Court. Has there been an approach about having connectivity after hours?
Speak in the mic,
So
can't hear you.
people can attend? I mean, they do work for us, why are we doing any work schedules? Other than that, if something is important. Another question is, when they do a study, like a traffic study, they keep saying, I'm going to run it, but when it's good, it's 11, 13, this, let me put out 2 weeks in court. To me, that's not that. That's making it that, so they can want it.
Right, and that's what we
It's
said.
just not gonna be.
And I don't know specifically if that was, I don't know if that specifically was, but we agreed to go on it.
But writing things, say that they have to say, to get this, you know,
Yes, we do all
and
that.
my other question is, why is it hard when you get a person in the I want to see 6 lanes, 15 lanes. We need 8 lanes, not enough room on roads to do HOV. So why are we doing something that really can bring us up to what we need like now?
Because I think it's part of the whole, innovative transportation solution, like I said, I mean, when they found John Holzer, and you can Google, he's from Denton County, he's served up people in Denton County, I don't know if you've been there, it's a disaster, McKinney, that whole area. He's done a lot of work there, he's done a lot of work outside of Georgetown, which there's a group over there that's fighting like us. He's working up in Lubbock County, so we're not the only 15,000 conference today. And I think part of it is because when they went and talked to him, he's like, great, let's get all these packets, let's get all these things, and go. And I think that Interloop, ultimately, I think is the full barrel. I think that other projects could all be great. I mean, if we look at those other projects, they may be great things that we need, but I think they just, as you saw in the movie, none of them, any of the interviews, and even the media didn't know to really talk about that, because they weren't talking about it.
Well, it's not the why we would let it say, no, shouldn't we do that? Because everything seems to me, if I belong to the food, everything in the world seems to be steering us on the ridge. Everything.
Well, okay, so that whole acreage, all right, so let's address that really quick. So when the city of Bryan, I went and I couldn't find where they actually annexed all that land in a video. I couldn't find them talking about it, I couldn't find it. I looked, because there's old videos, and I looked at all old videos, I looked at the minutes to try to figure out where were they talking about annexing all that land? Because it's 3 different property owners that they annexed in exchange, for the sewer line. Those 3 different property owners are all annexing their land, so what that is like 900 acres. So Frayling, you can understand, Frayling, he owns the land behind Stella, he's a builder in town, he got the deal too. So he's in, so all that goes over to Old Reliance, if he goes all the way over to Old Reliance, that's just gonna be neighborhood from 1179 to Old Reliance, because he got that deal too, and there's another piece of property in Duke. Got that, I think that's maybe the state, I don't know, that's that also got that deal, that all that land will be annexed, provided it has been annexed, by the city. So, annexing all that land is really important for them, for these deals to get the sewer, so that they can do, because as we know, they can build houses on less than 1 acre, because now they've got sewer.
So, again, that was a good question, because I moved in, we moved into our house in the city before Mr. Johnson. There was a senior engineer who lived in East Parkway, who was the senior engineer for our current home. We moved in 2006. In 2007, it was outside our community, kind of happens to play out. Without the pollution, we lived in our property. On Planners Loop, right? Whatever the between. So they've known about this since way before 2017.
Well, so it's convenient. They can say that.
And an engineer from the Carlos Power Plant just happens to go in and conversation. But my question is, if they did that back then, then why in the heaven did they approve the building of an additional 5 subdivisions down 1179 past Easterly Estates? So that it's some county, this thing's gonna have to go to people.
So their answer to why do they allow development to keep occurring before the alignment is constrained? The answer is because by law, they don't have to. That's why Don Wilson was like, just live your life. You know, build a barn if you want to. Texas just gonna pay for it.
You know, it's like, on the Planners Loop on the front side, that first house that is now been bought.
Right.
How is that house approved to even be built?
Well,
When there's paying,
and people in here that have homes that were built in the Stone Creek, that,
oh, yeah, exactly, since then, but they bought it and now I'm being told that they're gonna put a pond in. Yeah, on 1179, so the couple bought the house, the original couple. They before 5 years later.
Let's get some more questions.
He puts in a custom fence and it's told 9 months later that the easement is gonna come within inches of his garage. So they're gonna borrow.
All right, we have
How
one
is
question.
that cost efficient in tax? So,
well, and that's the whole leveraging to get tax dollars. It is very frustrating that they're using our money to get our money. It's frustrating. And that's the point that Dr. Purdue was trying to make many times. It's like, well, they're using our money to get our money.
Yeah, and what it boils down to, it doesn't matter, because the builders and the people on out of there, they're gonna get, they sell the stuff, they do it, they're making money. So until they can't make money anymore, they're just gonna keep building.
We have another question back here.
Yes, question, John.
Not their problem.
So my question, well, first off, thank you for the presentation, you work in passion, but the question is, if we're not part of the solution, we're part of the problem as well. Whether we're landowners or residents, I don't want to subdivide.
I get it.
further. The challenge we have here, and it's been on the road. Whether or not we take it viscerally as though we've been ill-informed, uninformed, or misinformed. We need to look at this from the point, not of malice first, but frankly, doing their jobs, a competency. We have to be competent in our ones, and my question for this, going forward, and separate the passion, is if we are going to be part of the solution and not part of the problem, resource buying and developing sub-range and other things. Those are ranges to begin with and routes to begin with. And we have to advocate for smart growth. Because the reason why those homes were built in Stone Creek and elsewhere is because it just needs to be planted. Out in the county, you have the right to do something if it's reaching urban guidelines. Sitting and listening to those county commissioner court meetings, workshops, and my question again is, are we going to build this? We should.
Yeah, yes, we are. There's one that's
So are we looking at it in the same, not as limiting development, or limiting landowner rights or the whole center?
Right.
Making good for our neighbors. We are all neighbors, one way, whether landowner or not, whether city or not. We all either come here one way or another from somewhere else. Or can. We need to do this better than we can.
Well, and that's a real issue because, there's gonna be people pay. There's gonna be people pay, your neighbors will pay, and I think ultimately, that's why they put equity, eminent domain authority, because I think they're looking for that place where people may pay. I hear rumors about a place that possibly will pay between $11 and $11.79, because generations just don't care about the land. So if they can get a big chunk to go from $11 to $11.79, that pays up the alignment. And there's not a lot we can do about it. And it's just like the gentleman that was talking with me on Facebook today, I should set him a seat. And he said, well, that place has less houses on it. And I said, sure it does. It's right behind Miramont and Copperfield. So I guess if they don't care, then what am I complaining about? Because it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. Because people are going to get tired. They don't want to come here. They don't want to come to, this is only the second meeting we had, and the attendance was even less than it was the first time. So if people start caving, or if people are just quiet, they may move it off of our place because we're so loud. Or they may be so bad at this that tomorrow morning they put it right on our house. So I don't know. We push for a vote. And we may lose. We talked about that earlier. If we push for a countywide vote with all the taxpayers, we could lose. And we have to be prepared with it because they bought the narrative. The county has sold the narrative. What's the narrative? What's the narrative? They sold, too much traffic. It's going to alleviate traffic. It's just a line on the map. It's just a study. And we're all behind the narrative. And they're selling this narrative and we're all wrong. Right. So it's yeah.
And that's it. They're saying absolutely everything most of the time, right? I mean, the first story was that it was going to alleviate the traffic. It goes from our end to now and the traffic over here. And then they stopped, and then they switched. And we pushed back on that, they switched. And we pushed back on that, and they switched. The engineers are lying to us. These are the same engineers for Queens and they don't actually care. It's just design. It's chief engineers.
They care about the training.
Right, they care about putting culture on time and stuff like that. But these meetings, they don't know about the socioeconomic, finance, the cost, and they don't know everything. They just was not big. I mean, they
I hate to cut this off, but this told the school guys that opened this up and we'd be out of here. If you want to ask questions, some of us would be willing to sit in the parking lot and talk.
Next Sunday.
Sunday at 1 o'clock, Sunday at 6. Citizens barbecue on, Rainbow Park. Thank you all.